question 66, we're given this diagram here, and we're told that it represents the life cycle of a simple type of plant. Okay, we're also given this key here to help understand what's going on. N refers to a haploid set of chromosomes, whereas 2N refers to a diploid number of chromosomes, haploid being half of diploid. Okay, so you won't have come across, in all likelihood, the plant life cycle in much detail in your studies so far. So it's best not to get phased and to just use the information you do know in the question. Okay, so what does it seem to be suggesting? Well, this diagram suggests that there are two plant stages. At one stage it is diploid, at the other it is haploid. And the intermediary to get between the diploid and haploid stage is the generation of spores. Now you may have come across the term spores in the context of the dispersal of fungal gametes, or in the case of algae or protozoa, but the same can be said for plants. Now, spores are haploid, as we can see. Now we should know that the generation of haploid cells from diploid cells is a form of meiosis, not mitosis. So in order to get from this diploid stage, which, in case you want to look it up, is termed the sporophyte stage, in order to get to the gametophyte stage, there must be a process of meiosis. Now there is no way that meiosis can occur from a haploid cell into another haploid cell, since this process is involved in generation of genetically dissimilar daughter cells, which can't happen if you only have a haploid set. So what must be happening in this process is the development of spores into a plant, which can happen through a process of mitosis, i.e. the proliferation of genetically identical cells, which can then specialize to form a plant. Now what's happening in this stage here? Well, it appears to be the generation of gametes, so you may be tempted to think that at stage 1 you'd be having meiosis. But again, we can see that at the gametophyte stage we're still at the haploid number of chromosomes, and you can't get from haploid to the starting point of meiosis. So stage 1 must involve, as with stage 4, the production via mitosis of daughter cells, which can then specialize into the female or male gametes. And if we were to look at the process of stage 2, this just appears to be gamete fusion in sexual reproduction. So what this diagram is representing is that plants reproduce through sexual and asexual reproduction. The asexual phase involves the widespread distribution of spores in order to increase the chance of survival of the offspring into far-flung lands, which can then produce a genetically identical form of the plant in stage P, but it is haploid, and so it must form gametes which can then recombine with gametes from another plant in order to form a new plant via sexual reproduction. So we can say that our answer is that 1 and 4 are the stages of mitosis, which gives us our answer C.